Hey mamas, Erica Zeal here with you, creator of Knocked Up Fitness, and today I want to show you an exercise that is really safe for your entire, every trimester of pregnancy, also great postpartum and beyond as well, but I want to share with you a couple tips that can make this exercise even more effective because I know some of you deal with back pain and hip pain, and we want to really work to minimize that. And in my professional belief, we can absolutely get rid of a lot of the aches and pains during pregnancy and work on preventing them. Okay, so I'm going to show you this one on your side. You're going to lay on down and try to lay in a position so that your head is relaxed, you're relaxed in your neck, your bottom knee is going to be bent, and as best as you can, try to keep your hips stacked. So in your third trimester of pregnancy, what you're probably going to want to do is get a pillow to put underneath your belly, so I always do with my clients is you just have them roll back a little bit, you put a pillow underneath your belly and you just lay on it. But I want you to keep that light pelvic floor, lower belly connection happening. And then we're gonna take our top leg and we're going to think about reaching through the heel. So our hips, we have as much space as possible through our hips. And we're gonna reach out and we're gonna lift. Okay, now, the mistake I see so many people make is that they do a lot of this, right? And again, you can do a little bit of that if that feels good for you, but the problem is I see too many women that dump it up way into the low back. And then all you're doing is working the low back when I really want you to work this part of your hip and your booty because, believe it or not, by strengthening this, it actually can help with your low back not being so tight and so stressed, okay? So we wanna keep that space through the hips. We want to reach through the heel and we want to extend the leg out and lift, but we want to feel a little pelvic floor, lower belly lift, and then control that leg down, but not release yet. And then your exhale is connecting up internally through your pelvis, and then lower back down, nice and slow. And even if you feel like, oh my gosh, Erica, I can only lift my leg a little bit before it goes into my back, then that is the range of motion that I want you doing. Keep it really, really, really small. And then lower it back down. Okay, and I'll go ahead, and then when you go to come up, use your arms to bring you up. I'm gonna move this down just a little bit, you guys. I feel like we are really, really, really up too high today. Okay, on to the other side. So, connecting up, laying on that side here, ladies. Bottom knee is bent, and again, if you're in your third trimester, put a pillow underneath your belly, roll back, and then let your belly not completely rest. I don't like it to fully rest because I want you to have a little support, so you have support of your spine, right? Top leg is out. Really reach through that heel, ladies. Control it lower, and then reach out and lift. So activate that glute a little bit, and control it down. So we're working in both directions. We're reaching out and up, and we're controlling on the way down. And actually, believe it or not, that's where we can get stronger quicker, is when we really control on the way down. Reach out, lift up, and do like 10 to 20 of these reps at a time. You could do 20 if you can, but what I want you to listen to is listen to your body. If you start to feel it really creeping up into the low back, then it's probably time to take a little break. And then, let that muscle recover a little bit, and then you can do a couple more. Okay, it's a really good exercise to do to really think about keeping those hips nice and strong, which is great for that low back pain. And again, we can do a little bit of inner thighs to keep those hips strong, but ladies, I am going to remind all of you, do not overdo your inner thigh exercise when you're pregnant, especially don't be doing any crazy like wide legs like this. We want to really minimize this, even for some of you who feel like you have a lot of space to be able to move. Be careful with opening those hips too much because of all that relaxin that you have in your body. It doesn't just affect your pelvis, it affects your entire body, but specifically with the pelvis. And some of you I know that have dealt with pubic symphysis, right? If we do a lot of inner thigh work, it can put too much stress on the inner thighs. So just keep that in mind. We want to really work on being stable through our pelvis. So that's where doing these are really good because a lot of women tend to be weaker on the outer thighs. And again, you can do a little bit of inner thigh work, but don't overdo it, especially with reaching out. And a good example is for any of you that do Pilates, which I teach Pilates all the time on the Reformer, and we do the skaters where we go in and out, right? And that can be okay if you work through a small range of motion where you are very stable. During pregnancy, I love to have my mamas always be working more on stability, not as much on range of motion, unless we're talking about what I just showed you, where we're lengthening through the legs, something where your body is in a very stable position and you're not relying on just your legs. And we don't want to be doing too much spreading of those legs that could potentially pull on that pubic symphysis, because we want to really minimize that because that is not something that I know any of you want to deal with. Thank you all for joining me today. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. For so much more information, you can check out the blog at knockedupfitness.com. Thanks for joining me, ladies.